Hello people, welcome to Diamond's Groove. If this is actually your first time dropping by here, we really do appreciate you a lot. Thank you for stopping by. Please do well to subscribe, like, comment and share this video to your family, your friends and other social media platforms. Thank you. So today we'll be talking about blind spots, how to identify your blind spots, major problems of blind spots, the types of blind spots, and how to know that you have blind spots, things that you do that makes one know you have a blind spot, and how to overcome blind spots. First of all, what is blind spots? Blind spots simply means an area in which your view is obstructed, which you as a person, you don't get to see it. It is perceived by other people around you, in your environment, people you deal with and associate with. That is majorly what blind spots is. The major problems with blind spots are: blind spots stops us from having healthy perspectives about people's view or situations or things or how we handle things. That's number one major problem. Number two major problem is blind spots stops or obstructs our judgment to things, how we judge a situation. Blind spots does not allow us judge things well. We don't get to judge things well. We only judge things from our own perspective. It doesn't allow us to see the broader view to things. And blind spot stops us from making healthy decisions. It obstructs us from seeing healthy perspectives, so our judgment is limited. Our judgment is not broad. Our judgment can be biased. It stops us from having healthy reactions to things around us, to situations that we encounter. In summary, blind spots stops us from having or seeing healthy perspective to situations or things. It stops or obstructs our judgment and awareness. It stops us from having healthy decisions. And lastly, it stops us from having healthy reaction to things, situations, circumstances, our dealings with people, relationship with people, our judgments, and everything that makes us relate to another. Then we are moving over to why there is blind spots. Blind spots stems from how we were brought up, our upbringing, because this has a lot to do with our personality, with our individual differences, with how we relate to one another. Because as humans, we have different baggages, we have different backgrounds, family, we have different ways we handle things. We also have different coping strategies, how we cope in difficult times, how we cope when we are in abundance, how we cope when we are in a fix, how we cope with family members and things happening around us in general. And this makes us have defense mechanism. As individuals, our defense mechanisms varies. This has to do with how we react to things and how we unconsciously protect ourselves from danger, from anything that wants to disturb us or disturb our peace, or anything that makes us uncomfortable. And the point is, we all have blind spots, or some of us don't know what our blind spots are because we haven't really taken time to analyze it, to come up or realize that we have blind spots, because it is mostly or majorly seen or perceived by others. In this video, I'm going to give us 4 types of blind spots. The first one is knowledge blind spots. Knowledge blind spots makes one feel overconfident and more fabulous until another person sees it and proves us wrong, because it is majorly perceived by other people. You just feel you are right, you are correct because of your knowledge, or because you know it is right, or because you know you are doing the right thing, until others see it, perceive it, and then prove us wrong and call us to order, or identify it to us, or points it out to us, saying this is it, this is that. The second type of blind spot is belief blind spots. This has to do with what you believe in over time. This belief blind spot happens majorly when our brain registers information and evidence that backs up our belief. And because of this belief, it makes us reason in our own perspective. This belief tendency makes us take sides to situations instead of making us see or reason from another angle. It makes us take sides rather than making us see what we are missing out in the points, rather than making us see what could be the problem. 3 is emotional blind spots. This emotional blind spots clouds our perception, how we perceive things to be, and makes us focus on one aspect of reality, one aspect of life, focus on one aspect of things, situations. The 4th one is thought blind spots. This thought blind spots has to do with us thinking from our thoughts. We don't think it through. We don't come up with something tangible because it makes us biased. It clouds your judgment. And this makes you believe you are always right. Then you live in denial because you are just one-sided. You just get to see things on your own perspective. And however, we now know that blind spots are personal and behavioral traits that affects the way we reason, we act to things, we respond to situations and to things, or it affects how we believe, and this limits our effectiveness. That is why we have to be self-aware. When we are aware of ourselves, or how we do things, how we react, how we behave, how we think and reason, we'll be able to come out of it. So now, I'll be giving us 10 points for you to identify or know your blind spot, or know you have a blind spot. Number 1 is when you love going through things all alone, you don't like to ask for help. Our second point is when you are being insensitive of your behaviors to others, how you react towards others, how you act towards others. You are being insensitive of your behaviors to others. Number 3 point is when you have an I too know attitude, ITK in quotes. Our 4th point is when you always avoid difficult conversations, so that you avoid conflict and you avoid talking with other people because you don't want to listen to their own point of view. Our 5th point is when you always play victims, blaming others and blaming circumstances or situations. The 6th point is treating commitments casually. You don't honor people's time, energy, efforts. You don't honor people's inputs. You don't honor people's resources because it's not yours. You treat commitments casually. The 8th point is when you withhold emotional commitments. You love doing emotional blackmail. You don't want to be committed to things. The 9th point is when you don't like taking a stand. You don't want to make commitments. You don't want to stand for what is right. And the last point, which is number 10, is when you tolerate not good enough performance. When you tolerate low standard of performance. Instead of you to do something right, to do something with the best input, your best performance, you just allow it. So now we are moving to how to overcome blind spots. I'll be giving us 5 points. The first point is ask for feedback. And the question should be like, what blind spot do I have that I need to assess, that I need to be aware of, So you work towards getting your feedback. How do I react to things? And how do I react in the right way? You can ask your colleague, your spouse, your partner. You can ask trusted friends. It could be in the form of a questionnaire to them so that you get to evaluate yourself. Ask for feedback, because that is one step towards overcoming your blind spots. Be with people you can learn from positively. Be with people that you could emulate good characters, good vibes, good ways they react to situations, good ways they handle things. Get to emulate from their positive way of life. The third point has to do with self-reflection. You identify patterns by examining your past. How do you respond to things when you are angry, when you are happy, when you are in a fix? So you identify patterns from your past so that you will know how to handle it. Our fourth point is identify triggers and make them work for you and not against you. So when you identify you are always angry, so you get to know that, oh, when you are always angry, react this way. So it will now work in favor of you. So when you are angry, you don't act that way again. You try to then act the other way. The fifth point is enlist someone that you trust to hold you accountable to your behavioral traits or your behavioral changes. Check how you are on track to your progress. Okay, we're now moving on to a major aspect of blind spots, which I know in one way or the other is affecting some relationships, which are relationship blind spots. Because these blind spots can affect our home, our marriages, our relationship, our peace, and our self-esteem. Why does blind spots exist? It is easy to identify behavioral flaws in others, and it is very, very hard to see blind spots in ourselves. So what are the blind spots in relationship? The first point is loss of respect. You criticize a lot, and when you put your partner down. Our second point is lack of time devotion to our partner, not giving enough time and energy to the relationship. So you shift all your attention to your work, to your children. It doesn't allow you devote time to your partner for growth, for peace, for harmony, and any other things you guys usually do. Another blind spot is you have a controlling attitude. You don't give your partner the time to voice out, to say or give the person's opinion. The fourth point is being arrogant to your partner. The fifth point is when you restrict yourself from listening, from talking, and you ignore your partner for too long, for long hours, days, weeks, when you can't even remember how you guys started to put you in track, how your love life was, how you guys were so happy. But all you can remember is murmuring, anger. You criticize a lot. You complain a lot. You complain to friends, families, people who are not even meant to hear it. Then you withhold your love and affection. Even sex, you withhold all those things that could spice your relationship. These things have listed as relationship blind spot. So how do you still overcome this blind spot? You can take questionnaires. You answer it personally to yourself, by yourself, and you can ask people to also answer it. So you come back with the data, you sit down, see their response, try to do some calculations to know if how your reactions have been, how to be on check, how to come out of it, how to try to do the needful, do what is right. You can even go for a training where you get to learn more about yourself in the course of the training. How do you avoid repeating the same argument in the relationship? I would say practice appreciation, because this removes negativity. You don't get to stay stuck on what is really, really bothering you, because you have voiced it out in a calm way, you have reacted in a different way. Discuss with your partner how you feel to avoid misunderstanding, and you appreciate them because you know they don't mean harm. It's not from a place of anger. They are always looking out for you, but maybe the way they came up with the whole matter was really it didn't come out well, or they didn't present the case well. So what do? You learn to appreciate, practice appreciation. We've come to the end of this discussion. If you love what you're listening to, please do well to subscribe, turn on your notification bell, like this video, comment.